Natalie, hey, congratulations on being part of the Spring Baking Championship this season for the Food Network.
Oh, shoot. Thank you so much. Sorry, I don't know. The camera was messing up. Okay, there. Can you hear me and see me
Yeah,
now?
I could.
Okay. Okay.
Everything's works perfectly now. Hey, so tell us, why did you want to be a part of this competition reality TV show?
Being on Food Network has always been on my bucket list. So when they contacted me last year, I actually declined. And then when they contacted me again, I was like, all right, yeah, let's do it. So yeah, it's just been on my bucket list. I mean, it's Food Network.
They must have really wanted you if they contacted you twice for the same show.
Oh yeah, I'd like to think so. Yeah, absolutely.
So to get Natalie, give us a little background about yourself for people who's going to check out this upcoming season. Who is Natalie Soto?
So I mean, I went to culinary school a long time ago. I didn't know which direction I wanted to take. I started off in the regular savory kitchen and then got a taste of being in the pastry kitchen. And then I actually started doing cakes, and that's when I really fell in love. So cakes for me is life. I love doing cakes. You just get to be super creative, it's a great outlet to just really get the creative passion going. Cake, I'm about cake all day long.
So are we to assume that cakes is your specialty, or do you really have a different type of specialty?
No, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I went to culinary school, so I do know like all parts of sweet areas, but cakes is definitely my specialty. That's where I really like to focus and shine.
That is terrific. I'm curious. Did you try to push a lot of cakes onto this show this season?
Um, yeah, that's like, that is where I shine at. So yeah, definitely. I used that to my advantage, trying to use my strengths, just so that I could, keep on staying at the top.
Tell me about your experience on day one, walking onto that set for Spring Baking Championship. What was that like?
Uh, it was frightening. It was exciting. It was nerve-wracking just being on set with all the lights, all the people. Yeah, it was just really, really exciting. I mean, if I could do it again, I would do it all over again. I really had a blast. Yeah, it's an experience that I'll keep with me forever. It was really awesome.
That's funny because you rejected it the first time around, but now you definitely want to do it again.
Yeah, I think I was just like way too nervous the first time. I was just like, no, I just didn't want to get out there and look like a fool. So, but when they contacted me a second time, I was like, okay, this is fate. I got to do it.
Now, obviously, as a viewer, we don't know what it's like to be in your shoes, but how do you control your anxiety and nervousness on a production like this?
Um, I kind of just like roll with it. Like honestly, like I would have an energy drink before we got on set just to get myself all hyped up. And then as soon as I would get in there, it's just like eyes down, eyes on the prize, forget about everything else. I just gotta bake. I just gotta run and I just gotta bake.
So when this show is notorious by giving you a lot of curveballs and ridiculous challenges, do you ever get infuriated or frustrated at what they give you, or that you want to just throw the ingredients back at them?
Yeah, sure. There's a few times where you're just like, oh my gosh, like what were they thinking? But I'm a really big fan of the show, so I knew that those curves were coming and such. So I guess just like going into the challenges, I tried to envision like what could possibly be a curveball for this challenge, uh, just to kind of give myself a cushion, to just be able to roll it into whatever flavors, just so that I wasn't so thrown off my game.
Wow, it sounded like you're somewhat prepared for all of this.
I mean, I've been in the kitchen for quite some years. So, yeah, it's not my first rodeo. I feel like I really have a good handle on complexities of flavors. So, yeah, I just try my very best, just trying to bring all my experience into it.
Now, during the stages of competition, every time they actually bring you into competition, which is the most challenging part? Was it the creative phase where you're trying to come up with the idea? Was it the planning phase where you're trying to basically how to implement that idea? Or was it the actual baking process of that competition?
Um, you're saying like what is the most like
Challenging,
hardest
hardest
challenge part?
part for you when it gets started?
Um, I would say honestly, like just being that creative part, like, like you hear what the challenge is and you're like, okay, what am I going to do with that? Like, I've got 50 ideas that I think will be great. How can I rein these in? Um, and then I guess another hard part is just doing the actual bake. Because it's not your kitchen, it's not your setup, it's not what you're used to, ingredients are not where you normally have them and such. So yeah, just working with equipment that's not yours, just trying to make sure that it comes out all right.
I love watching these competition shows on the Food Network. Not just because to watch your ordeal, but it's to watch the clock because I feel like the clock is yelling at you guys during this whole time. But I want to know is when that clock starts, do you manage to block out the clock or do you feel the pressure that it is ticking and yelling at you?
Oh, you definitely feel the clock. You definitely feel the clock. You know, not to give away too much stuff, but you're allowed to like ask like time, like how much time is left, so you got 10 people or wherever, whatever it is, asking, what time is it? And I'm just like, so you're constantly hearing, like 10 minutes left, 15 minutes left, or whatever it is. But yeah, and then you're like, oh shoot, like I only have so much time left. Like, am I gonna be able to pull it all together? It's definitely nerve-wracking.
There was no point for yourself that you just want to throw up your arms and give up, right?
Oh no, 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 definitely not. I mean, it's like you're there, you've already made it. So many other people were fighting to have your spot. So for me, no, never was it like that's it. I'm just throwing in the towel. Like, no, I wanted to duke it out, like, as long as I could do it for every challenge.
Now, with your other competitors, you spent days and weeks with them. Did you see them as competitors or did you actually develop lifelong friendships after all of this?
Definitely lifelong friendships. You get to a point in the competition, that it's like when you first start out, everybody's like kind of sharing a little bit, of things that they've thought of or and stuff. You try and like, bounce ideas off of each other, but then it's like you're also like, I don't want to reveal too much, because it is a competition and you want to keep your edge, sharp against those people. But no, definitely after it's all said and done, yeah, we are lifetime friends. We've all, followed each other on Instagram and social media. And we all talk pretty much like every day, like on there. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, it sounded like you have a great experience. Can you tell us how the Spring Baking Championship changed you and made you a better person?
Uh, I mean, it definitely showed me, how much I can accomplish in a small amount of time, like just being organized, gathering my thoughts. Uh, I think it's definitely just made me realize, that I am very, organized. And I do like competition. Like, I guess it kind of like, showed me like that I am a very competitive person when it comes down to it.
That is great to hear. And one more thing before I let you go, Natalie, is obviously we're speaking virtually right now because of the pandemic. The restaurants are closed. But how are you staying sane and creative during this whole time?
Well, I mean, I know we're in a pandemic, but people still want cakes. People have been cooped up. So, being able to have some really awesome, cool, creative cake for their kids that they haven't been able to do much of, this entire year. People are going bigger and better on their cakes. So I really haven't slowed down as far as work goes. So yeah, I mean, I'm having a great time during this pandemic.
That sounds great. I'm glad you are keeping busy. Well, hey Natalie, hey, thank you very much for speaking with me about this show. But I don't suppose you could tell me whether you won or what place you got, right?
You better tune in on Monday. Watch us all throw down.
Well, you know what? I will definitely do that because Spring Baking Championship is one of my favorite shows. So I will check you out. Thank you very
All
much.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have a good one. Take care. Bye bye.